Should you change your thumbnail after posting your video? So this is a question I recently got from someone while talking to them, and I have run into that question myself, and I'm sure you probably have the same, where you post a video and you're afraid of making any changes because you think it might halt or hurt that video's chances of actually continuing to do well or doing well in general. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly when I think you should make changes and when I think you may not want to make any changes. According to Todd, the head of the algorithm of YouTube, he says the change itself is not positive or negative. If the change that you made is a positive change, then that's gonna be good. The video will do better. But if the change that you made is actually worse, then that will actually hurt your video. So the change itself, the algorithm is not working against you. They're working for you. So if you change the thumbnail to a better thumbnail, obviously it will do better, and therefore the more chances of your video picking up steam. But if you make a change where the thumbnail is actually not as good, or it underperforms the first one, obviously the result will be lower views. Now, it may be scary initially to make that change not knowing which thumbnail will do better. But recently, YouTube actually just made the process a lot easier because they released this test and compare tool, which is a feature for you to upload up to 3 thumbnails and test them. So this is great for especially small business owners or small businesses because they don't have the time or the budget to be paying for a tool or someone to be managing split tests. So overall, yes, you should always split test. You should always be split testing. The biggest companies in the world are constantly split testing. There is never a time where you should actually stop split testing. So right now, I personally always upload up to 3. Sometimes I have 2, where the third one I don't think is good enough, or I definitely know it's not going to outperform the others. But it's a funny thing. Sometimes the one that you think is not going to perform is the one that actually performs better. So now YouTube has this feature that not only tracks click-through rate, but it actually tracks which thumbnail led to the most watch time, which is the most important thing, because you can create a thumbnail that actually is great getting clicks, but that video is not delivering what that thumbnail promised. Therefore, this is not a good video because people are not going to like it and they're not going to come back. So YouTube actually measures satisfaction. They measure the thumbnail that results in people staying and watching the video the longest. All right, which is the best way to track, in my opinion. So if I haven't said it, yes, you should always be split testing your thumbnails and everything else, but specifically thumbnails, because that's the first thing that matters. Without a good thumbnail, you will never get the chance to get a click, and nobody will ever find your video in the first place. So when should you consider not making any changes? So this is actually a personal preference. This is not official advice or based on facts and data, all right? But the only time I may not decide to make a change in the video is if it is doing well, okay? So you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I tend to go with that mindset when it comes to thumbnails or split testing on my videos in general. Like recently, I had a video that picked up in 24 hours. It had the most views I've ever had on this new channel. All right, as some of you may know, I have a previous channel, that's much bigger. This is a brand new channel that I just started. So that video was the first one to hit 1,000 views in 24 hours. There was one thing that I felt I wanted to change, but I decided not to make that change because split testing means there is a chance that the new thumbnail will actually underperform. And if the video is already doing well and it's going, I think it's best for me to not touch that video and let it do what it's doing, because the stats as is, something is working and YouTube is promoting that video. I don't know, this is not backed by data whatsoever, but if the video is doing well, I'm afraid of changing anything that might actually hurt the performance of that video, because my thinking is, if I make a change and the next thumbnail that I upload to split test is actually underperforming, yes, I will learn and I will get data to see which one is actually performing well, but in the process, I have lowered my overall click-through rate and therefore hurt my chances of getting even more views. Okay, so I will change the thumbnail for that video once I see views start to stall. This is again a personal preference. You can change it anytime you want, but this is the only time that I personally don't just jump in and say, okay, I'm going to split test on this one if the video has proven to be doing very well, or at least better than most of my other videos. Okay, so I hope you like this video format. This is a brand new type of video that I'm creating. This is a new series called Ask Ralph. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below this video and I will answer them in a short, this was supposed to be maybe a 2-minute video, but I'm sure I talked a bit too much. So ask all your questions under this video, like it if you like it, and I will continue making some of those. They're very easy and fun for me to make. So ask all the questions you have as you grow your business and I will help you out by answering them through another video. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. And meanwhile, if you'd like to check out how this video got me 10 leads in the first 24 hours, go ahead and click on that video. You might just learn something.